Morning, everybody. Greetings, screeners. This is another edition to Check It If Collected. Yes, today, screeners, I've been waiting for this for quite some time. We are going to be checking off Transformers 4 knockoff drift deluxe model. And I do not have a package about it. As you can see, it's already open. And this is one I've been actually waiting for quite some time to do, just because I've been trying to get some of the other stuff out there and stuff. And in hindsight, the Transformer movie coming out, this is something that I really want to do. So I'm going to stop right here for a second. Cool, yeah, we got him. Excuse me, people. I just woke up. I actually was trying to post this. Forgot I did not actually do the review on it. Did the stop motion, and I actually had to do the redo the review. Redo the review. Sorry. So here we have right now is knockoff drift, or not drift, or however you want to call him. Back it up just a little bit. As you can see, you see the size of him, and you really necessarily can't see all the size of him. But what I can do, if as soon as I find my ruler, I had a ruler, little thing I made. Shame on me. All right, pause this for a second because I gotta go and get this thing. 1 second. Okay, screeners, I have a ruler, not the ruler I was looking for, so we're gonna save that for another video. So we're gonna see right now. Hope you guys can see this. Different size comparison. Obviously, you know, I'm gonna block that sign out. And you see right there, he is almost exactly 7-inch tall. If you can see that there, that's the height of him. So yes, he's kind of matches up pretty well about for Voyager size, and you know that's how it goes there. And we're gonna get into other size comparisons right now, but just put him aside, and you can see height wise, and we'll get into transforming him in just a second. This here is a transformer alternator. What is that? Transformer alternator tracks. I'm sorry. And you see the height difference. If you know how big they are pretty much Voyager size, because most of all, if not all, alternators, that was kind of like the first masterpiece going around for Transformers. So you can see the size comparison to drift to tracks, and we're going to get to other size comparison, because I do believe that, I think in my opinion, the not drifts are actually pretty okay in my book, and I do like the size of them. We're going to bring in Battle Damage Knockoff Prime, put him there, and you see the height difference on that. So Prime towers, or well, not towers, is a little bit taller, which is, you know, whatever, but again, I appreciate the size more on the right of Drift than this Prime. I just think he's cool because of the way he look in his paint scheme. So whatever. So this is Battle Damage Optimus Prime. And let me see, do I need to look at anything else? Actually, I do. I should open the wrapper, but I didn't. So you're going to see right now, it is actually brand new. I actually had to pick that up, and you can see the size comparison to Hasbro Drift compared to the knockoff. And I'm going to get that out of the package and just in a snap. Okay, screeners, you can actually see the size comparison is no contest. I mean, it looks like a father like son. And again, knockoff Drift actually fits better in my collection, in my opinion, because I think that deluxe class have shrinked over time. You can see the size comparison if you are a collector with the Transformers, and I just don't like it. I mean, it's got this weird thing between legend / or commander class, or what have you, whichever class you can say and stuff. But again, I really do love the knockoff Drift better than the Hasbro deluxe Drift. It just fits better overall and stuff. I mean, in some cases, this has some better qualities, so to speak, like the swords and the different colors and the contrast. But this here just fits so much well. So you can do the customization and just knock that out the box. That's in my opinion. Not throw shade. I'm just saying I just really like this figure, the knockoff. So with that being said, let's go and hop into the transformation. Okay, screeners. Oh, I'm just meant to let you know earlier, excuse me for the rundownness of me. I'm coming out with something, but I'm trying to muscle through these reviews because I just got to get them done. Back to these drifts. Yeah, as you can see, in vehicle mode, again, it kind of dwarfs it. Looks like a go-kart compared to, I don't even have all that put together. I was trying to find out to put it, you know, whatever and stuff. Excuse me. As you can see in the vehicle mode, that, you know, pretty much identical, just one smaller and bigger than the other, and they actually transform identically the same way. But again, I can appreciate the knockoff because it just goes well. If anybody is a follower of the line of alternators and also the masterpieces, they have masterpiece figurines of I think the figurines, I don't know what it is. I think they might even have the whole line of the masterpiece, the figurines, the minifigures. That's similar to the minifigures that you see that I use in my stop motion that comes along and stuff. They're actually more on the Human Alliance. This is a Human Alliance figure I use, for example. And to me, that, of course, you can see if it's better with the right than it does with the left. And it just works all so much together, better so. And that's just pretty much about it. I mean, it works. It works to a point that it is just, you can see where you have the Lego figure here. You got a little C3 construction, John Cena. And let me see. Stand up, you know, close enough. And it just works well with it. So, you know, just because of size comparison with vehicle, it just works there. So we're going to get these out of the way and just look at, you know, it just, you know, this is a deluxe, and pretty much basically it's deluxe of Voyager versus Voyager, and you just can see the size. So we're going to put this aside here, and what we're going to do is try to get that at least setting up just right, and we're going to bring in dead end, Transformers alternator dead end, put them in there. And of course this scale works better with that just because that's just it. It just works better with the size. I'm sorry, little Duck Lux, you're not working with my stop motion there. I can't, you know, it's a go-kart. It's a go-kart for the go-kart. That's what it is. All right, that's just it. Get you out the way for a second there. And you can just see it side by side there and move them. And that's it. They work better, a whole lot better, I should say. Bring both of them in there without me hitting the camera there. Yeah, it just does. Anyways, and then we'll bring the little guy back in here. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, enough of all that, and let's go and get into the pros and cons. I didn't have a lot of pros and cons for the figure size because both of them are good, are great in their own right. The difference is that you can see the size comparison with the pros and cons, so it's kind of self-explanatory. Pro for the knockoff, con because of the deluxe original size. Don't too much care for that. And the thing I have to say that is probably the most pros and cons are probably in vehicle mode. The pros about this is size comparison wise, it works well, cool there, and it's just, again, it just works there with the figurines. You can see I already showed you, and that's just it. Cons about it is one, it really doesn't have a place for storage for the swords, and that's the same thing with this one. You can have one or either or for the swords. Get into that. Oh my goodness, knocked every. So you have the swords there. That's the weapons, and I should have showed a close up of that, but I was going to wait till I have the vehicle mode. You see the sword storage there. On this one, you can storage the small swords there. You just can't storage the big one. And on the knockoff, the swords are from the helicopter drift. So that's where that goes in that there. But pros on this is the only thing I have about the pros on this is the same thing that is kind of a con. The color scheme does not fit well with it. I think it should have been more like this, of course, because it fits more of a natural how Bugatti looks, you know, versus the actual how it is in the movie. So the con of this is that it should have been more so color like this, and it would have been a better setup. And also the sword's the same, so you can have better. And it should have at least the storage for the weapons better, because you could have fit something to do on there, and that's it. I use this to put around the back, as you'll probably see in the stop motion, where the swords are kind of back there in such a way, not just hanging off the back of the spoiler or whatever, which I like that too. That's kind of cool, but again, it looks awkward, so it's whatever. Pros and cons for this little guy here. The pros is, love the detail of it, love the color scheme, love how it works, love how it you can fit both swords there, love that the swords are gold like it is in the movie, and it just works well. I mean, the color scheme works so much with it, and I think this might even be wave 2. I don't even think that's the first wave. I think it might, the first wave might have been more like this one. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure, but you know, well, that's the pros for that. Cons is, you already know, it's obvious. Little guy really doesn't fit well with the stop motion with the figurines I have. Maybe it fits with the little Lego. Put him next to him. No, even that looks like kind of like a little Micro Machine, whatever. And con is, that's pretty much about it about the cons. That's pretty much about it. I mean, I don't know what they got going on here. We're just, and it could have painted this more like an engine silver color, just how it is on this one. This one has the engine silver color, and I mean, it's just like for the obvious reasons. And before I forget, the difference of swords, of weaponry that it comes with is here, you know, sword there, and they classified this as the great sword. Anybody knows anything about Transformers, this is not actually the great sword. They just, actually, I think I saw it somewhere on the back of the box or something. Yeah, it's not the great sword. It's just not, you know, but that works, I guess, in, you know, their world, so to speak, and stuff. And here are the swords. The miniature swords, the smaller swords, and I guess I'll go ahead and bring the smaller ones in here and show the different sizes. So it's identically the same, just one color versus another, and that's it. And they're bigger, but they're the same exact ones. These swords are different from that one. I'm not going to take them out because they're pretty much, you can look at them and see the difference in the size and how it works. So that's pretty much about it. Put that there, put this here, there. And that's it. That is what's going on with these drifts. But screeners, without further ado, I'm coming out with this cold. You know, you have more to view, so let's see what these things can do. Okay, screeners, hope you enjoy that stop motion there. It was a quick one, just of this one. But I do want to encourage you to look at the part 2, whatever you want to call it. A little bit extra is what I call it, with including a cameo appearance of this guy here. That is the Transformers RID Drift. And yeah, just check it out, screeners, and just look, you know, and see what the deal is. I didn't go too much of the joints. Sorry, I forgot about that. But as you can see, as far as body wise and comparisons, you can do different posability with them. They don't really have any swivel in the waist, but you can get a pretty good bend in the knees, as you can see how low you can get with them. You have the twist in the arms and the bend in the arms, and stuff. Again, they do the same thing. They're limited in some cases, in some range of motion stuff, but nevertheless, they do actually work. So, screeners and meters, I'm so sorry for, honestly, just I'm coming out with something and the sickness is taking me over and stuff, and I'm forgetting little things here and there. But I'm sorry. I'll be a lot better next time. I had to muscle through this, but just so this won't take so extra long that it has already. Appreciate the watch. Thank you so much. Do what you do as long as you do it well. JRO Network, and I am out.